New mandatory evacuations are in place right now along North Carolina's coast. The Tar Heel state taking no chances and preparing for the worst. Joining us now to talk about that effort is former North Carolina Congressman Robert Pittenger. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It is great to talk with you.
Good morning, Heather. Good to talk to you.
You know, you've been through plenty of these hurricanes there along the Carolina coast. This one's shaping up to be just a little bit different, but as we heard Janice talking, you know, comparing it to Matthew, that's one of the storms that you were comparing it to in terms of federal funding and what people will need moving forward to recover.
Yes, ma'am. All these storms are distinctive, but they're all devastating. Matthew, Florence, and of course now Dorian. The challenges that we face really deal not just with the storm itself, but the flooding. The flooding causes massive damage, and I think any individual who considers the fact that it goes from a Category 5 to Category 2, that's very devastating winds, but particularly when these storms very often hover over and they don't move quickly. They go very slowly, and it causes tremendous damage with the flooding.
President Trump tweeted out last night, he said that he's getting the North Carolina emergency declaration completed. He was signing it last night. He hopes the state will not need it. In terms of funding, you have an issue with that, though.
Yes, ma'am. You know, since 2016, when the Matthew hurricane, we applied, of course, for the FEMA funding, worked with all the counties, and yet today, from North Carolina, they've received all the money from the federal government, from the FEMA, but it hasn't been allocated out to the counties. Only 7% of the money that was sent by FEMA has been allocated. Now, this is terrible. This is a bureaucracy at its worst. And I think that's why I really support Senator Tom Tillis from North Carolina. He's introduced a bill that after 18 months, if the state hadn't allocated the money to the counties, then the FEMA should go directly to the counties and let them disperse these very necessary funds. This has been 3 years.
Right, and you know, Matthew, like you just said, 2016, Florence was the last one. In 2018, we just was talking to the mayor there in one of the areas along the coast, saying that they're still trying to recover from that as well. Thank you so much for joining us. It was great to see you again.
Good to talk to you, Heather.
Good luck down there.
Thank you.
Well, to another Fox News alert for you. The search called off for survivors.